Hello everybody and welcome to a completely new thing on my channel. It's going to be a bit of a challenge run. I'm sure you've already read the title, so I'm not going to go too deep into this. So I had the fun idea of, oh yeah, Sonic R. It's a fun game, totally. Let's make it even more fun. So I had the idea of, let's do it with the worst character in the game. And if you look online, at least whenever I Google searched it, Egg-Robo is not actually the worst character. It's like Amy or something. But here's the thing. Egg-Robo is the worst out of the top tier of characters. And that's kind of going to be something interesting in and of itself. So here I'm just going to mention with Amy. So obviously you don't get Egg-Robo right from the start because you have to actually unlock them. So I figured because like right before this I just did a thing of beating Sonic R with only Amy. So I was like, I guess I'll just do Amy again. So yeah, I'm just gonna unlock Egg-Robo as Amy. I could have done it with any character, but I figured might as well. Amy is the worst character, so this kind of brings out the best of the challenge. So yeah, so this is the challenge, and yeah, just kind of an interesting thing about Sonic R is you have your two kind of tiers of characters, I guess. I'm going to try and not butcher this as best as I can. There's two kind of tiers of characters. You have your second tier and your top tier, your first tier. Your lower tier of characters is, Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Eggman, and Amy, as you all see right here. And you have your top tier of characters, which are Metal Sonic, Tails Doll, Metal Knuckles, Egg-Robo, and Super Sonic. And so, the thing about this game, what it does, is if you're a low tier character, such as Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, you'll only be pit against the low tier characters. Otherwise, if you're put in with the top tier of character, if you choose a top tier character such as Metal Sonic or Metal Knuckles, or in this case Egg-Robo, what happens is you're pitted with the top tier characters. And the only case where you'll be pitted with the low tier characters is if you haven't unlocked all the top tier characters. And so, this in a sense, in my eyes at least, makes Egg-Robo way worse than Amy. Because while Egg-Robo is better than Amy at the start, when you start unlocking characters like Super Sonic and Metal Sonic and Metal Knuckles, and they all just they all come together and start replacing characters like Amy and Eggman, that becomes a much more difficult challenge. So I felt that Egg-Robo was a more difficult challenge. Like I said, I did already I did do a challenge with just Amy beating Sonic R. So if there's high enough demand for it, I'll go ahead and release the gameplay for that. I don't think I need to commentate over that just because it's not really that interesting, especially as I'm messing up here. It's just kind of it's Amy, it's Sonic R. It's a bit more interesting just kind of seeing how the boost works and whatnot, but that's just kind of the thing with Egg-Robo though, is Amy, while she is slow, she does at least, she's able to drive on water, and she's able to boost. Egg-Robo, he can't jump. He can shoot missiles, but they do pretty much, no, they do absolutely nothing. Just through experimentation, I think what I found was like, Egg-Robo's missiles, how they work is, I guess they propel you in the direction opposite of which they hit you. So if they hit you from the front, they're gonna push you back, which, great, but that doesn't really work when you can only hit them from behind. Also, something I want to point out here as I'm looking at this is, as I get into the third lap, I realize, oh wait, Egg-Robo's ahead of me. I gotta step up. I can't lose to Egg-Robo. So I made sure I picked up the pace there, and yeah, Egg-Robo, not a challenge. But so you might be noticing right now how I'm choosing to handle this kind of challenge style. All I'm doing is just kind of simply looking back at the recording, looking back at the footage, and I'm just commentating over that. I'll cut out, whatever parts I don't think are interesting. But yeah, I just had a lot to explain there. So now we're starting off our adventure with Egg-Robo. And the thing with the first couple of stages is that they're actually really, really easy. It's because, once again, you're paired up with, I don't think Eggman... Oh, Eggman is in here, yeah. Because he's, I guess, like, a higher sub-tier than Amy or whatever. But it's like... Yeah, so I don't have any other high-tier characters. So I'm just paired up with all the low-tier ones. And since Egg-Robo's velocity isn't actually that bad, his speed is relatively okay. It's not great, but it's fine. And this is kind of the fun of playing as Egg-Robo, is that he doesn't float on water and he can't jump. So he can float on water a little bit, but it's not for very long. And it's just like, it gets really annoying, especially in later stages like Reactive Factory, where it's just, you almost have to go, you have to go over the water, and it just slows you down. And so, yeah, it just kind of sucks. So what I'm doing here is, I'm getting the challenge coins and the Chaos Emerald at the same time. Since there's only one, and this is probably going to be the easiest this game is going to get. Water is good. Water is real good. And yeah, as you can see, even if Egg-Robo's missiles did work, like how they're supposed to, you saw that one just completely miss with Knuckles. It was like, really? Come on. So anyway, okay, this one was actually real close, yeah, I think. So also, Metal Sonic shouldn't be too bad of a race, especially with shortcuts. But shortcuts are going to be huge later on, oh boy. But so, to those who aren't actually aware of how this game functions, on each stage there's 5 challenge coins and 2 Chaos Emeralds, with the exception of this stage here, Resort Island, where there's only 1 Chaos Emerald. You can collect the challenge coins and the Chaos Emerald all you want and just finish the race. But, so if you get all the 5 challenge coins, you get to race against a challenger. And if you beat the challenger, you win. You unlock that character and can use them. And all of these are going to be the high tier characters that'll be replacing the low tier ones. And so basically, to unlock the high tier characters, you have to get all 5 challenge coins once again, and you have to finish in 3rd place or higher, which isn't that bad actually. it's, you know, pretty okay, especially when you're going up against like Amy and Tailstall and whatnot. But so, yeah, so that's that, and of course, also we win against Metal Sonic. I don't know who was thinking we weren't. Metal Sonic is a really good character, just AI in this game, not fantastic, but... And you can see we got the Chaos Emeralds because I collected the Chaos Emerald during the race. And how the Chaos Emeralds work is, you know, you have to collect them once again in the stage, but you have to finish in first. I don't think the Challenger race really affects that at all, but yeah, you have to finish in first with the Chaos Emeralds, or else you don't get them. And that's going to be a real pain later. So you can see we're here in Reactive Factory. Now we have Metal Sonic going after us. He's the fastest character we have right now, and right now all we really have are, you know, decent to good characters we're racing against. Tails being kind of a decent character. He's not great, but, you know, he's way better than Amy. And this stage doesn't really cause too much trouble, just because Radical City, it's pretty easy. I don't know why I didn't go through that gate. I have no idea why I didn't go through that gate. And so I think I failed my first time on Radical, Radical City. Just because I wasn't 100% sure on the routing and how to get all the coins. And I'm not even sure if I finished in first to get the Chaos Emeralds. But my strategy of get the challenge coins at the same time as the Chaos Emeralds, it isn't gonna work, and you'll see that later. Like, I have to go for them separately just because it just doesn't really work. And once again, Egg-Robo having... I forgot about that. So I just skipped the Chaos Emerald there. I didn't even mean to. And I guess I didn't get the Chaos Emerald for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, maybe it was because... I know something I was wanting to do was get all the Chaos Emeralds at the same time. So, you know, if a stage has 2 Chaos Emeralds, I just don't want to get one at a time and make this challenge super, super easy. I love this music so much. Say what you want about Sonic R, the game, but the soundtrack is so gorgeous. Oh, I love Sonic R's soundtrack. Like, that's half the reason I wanted to do this challenge, just to listen to the soundtrack again. And my boy was up. If you're listening, you'll have my back on this, right? Sonic R soundtrack that great? Yeah. Alright, so with that, I actually get the last challenge coin. And we'll be able to face the terror of my childhood, Tailstall. Oh, as a little kid, I was always like into the creepypastas. Unfortunately, I can't take horror worth crap, so every creepypasta I read just terrified me. And it was like Tailstall was just the worst thing. Little elementary school me just could not fathom the scariness of Tailstall. But yeah, other than that, Tailstall is really all the challenger races in this game are pretty tame. The AI doesn't really take all the craziest shortcuts, and like when they do, it's like you just you're good enough to where it doesn't really matter. The AI is pretty not great in this game. But hey, I think it'd be cool for this game to get a remaster, no? Along with Sonic Adventure. This would be a great game to be remastered. Also, I noticed here that Tailstall, was it there? Yeah, Tailstall got a little bit stuck. So it was like, oh, hey bud. But with the whopping 267 coins, we beat the existential nightmare that faced me as a kid. So with that, I almost forgot I didn't get the Chaos Emeralds. So I was about to go to Regal Ruin, and I was like, oh wait, I gotta get the Chaos Emeralds. So I'll get both of those, and we'll be pretty much back. And I actually learned that Tailstall is like just barely better than Tails by looking at the tier list, and that kind of surprised me because I didn't really know what Tailstall had that was better than Tails. Like maybe better speed, better velocity. Because I don't think Tailstall flies. I know he can jump. Can he go over water? He might. Yeah, he just might. Alright, well, let's get these emeralds and get out of here. Yeah, so once again, like another thing with this is that, you know, with getting the Chaos Emeralds, you have to finish it first. And while normally, you know, that's not too big of an issue, especially if you know the shortcuts, just the other characters are way faster than Egg-Robo. So oftentimes, like, yeah, Metal Sonic, like, I thought I was way ahead of him, but no, he's just here. And he, you know, outruns me. So I have to find a shortcut to take, or else, you know, I won't be getting these Chaos Emeralds, and I'll have to do, you know, Radical City again. And that's no good. But with that, Radical City is done. We got ourselves not one, not two, but... Okay, so interesting thing with Regal Ruin actually is that when playing, I completely forgot that you get Egg-Robo from the stage. So you're gonna see right here that I actually, you know, go for the challenge medal, and you know I'm sitting here like, oh wait, I missed it, dang it. Oh well, I'll just keep going, and I get up here, and I look at it, I'm wondering, wait. Why isn't the challenge medal there? And the thought comes over to me like, oh, yeah, I did that already at the start of the video. I just have to get the Chaos Emeralds. Unfortunately, getting the emeralds isn't actually that bad in Regal Ruin, especially because one of them you only need 20 rings to get it, which kind of surprises me because every other gate is 50. So I don't know why that's different on Regal Ruin compared to everything else, but whatever. Once again, I start to notice like, oh wait, Metal Sonic is like way ahead. I might need to hurry. So I go for the emerald here, and I get it. Well, actually, no. So, correction, I didn't get it. I remember that too. I remember I was so close, and that just one piece of geometry just cucked me. And I didn't even win anyway, so I didn't get the emerald. And I was just so mad. I hated it. That really, really sucked. yeah, so because I didn't get first, I got no Chaos Emeralds. Get used to seeing this screen. So fortunately, I'm able to retry it, and I'm pretty sure I get it this time. It shouldn't have taken that long. Because once again, like my main two threats are Sonic and Metal Sonic, but that's gonna change real soon after after we get the challenge coins on Regal Ruin. Not Regal Ruin, Reactive Factory. And actually, you know, I'm sure some of you will probably say, like, oh, you know, why didn't you just get the Chaos Emeralds first and then do the challenge mission or challenge coins? I mean, yeah, I could have done that, and that would have made the rest of the game much easier. But also, oh, I saved it like twice, and then I just fall. So disappointing. At this point, I was so mad at the collision. I wanted to take a break, but I was like, oh, I'm halfway through. I might as well just finish it. But yeah, personally, it was just... I really wanted to just put a bigger challenge. Because, like... It was more for my sake, because I could have not done this challenge, you know? But I thought it was fun, you know? So I wanted to say, hey, I'm choosing to play as Egg-Robo because he has... Sonic R, what a game, man. What a game. I literally recorded this last night, and this footage still makes... Ah. Also, yeah, once again, I have to turn the cameras very slowly to get the emerald. Regal Ruin is probably one of my least favorite stages. Probably my least favorite track in the game, which is saying a lot, because this game has some really good music. Like, it's not bad, just, eh. I'll listen to the others before I listen to Back in Time, or whatever the song is. But yeah, just kind of finishing up my thought from earlier. This is more of a for me thing, personally. It's like the point of this challenge, and not choosing Amy and choosing Egg-Robo is that while Egg-Robo is technically, in air quotes, pretend I'm doing air quotes right now, technically Egg-Robo is better, but whenever he's pit against, especially like Supersonic, because Amy doesn't get pit against Supersonic, since Supersonic is the high tier character. Also, we got the Chaos Emeralds. Yeet, boys. But it's like, yeah. Like, with Amy, it's a lot smoother, and while it is, technically hard, she has a lot of, boosts. Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot this as well. I apparently came really close to like Metal Sonic was right behind me when finishing the finish line, and I wanted to actually see, like, oh, how close was he really? But like, yeah, so Amy is technically the worst character, but she doesn't get pit up against, Metal Sonic, Metal Knuckles, Super Sonic. Egg-Robo does. And, since he is the worst, high tier character, why not, Because I don't think Eggman gets pit up against them. I think Eggman gets pit up against the low tiers. That would make the most sense to me. So it's just kind of, yeah. This game. This game indeed. And also, I love how the camera just doesn't really, like, it's really weird with the replays. And I think this is like the same thing with Sonic Riders too, where it's like the camera just doesn't really, like, it just kind of does its own thing. It's fixed, but it becomes fixed at so many different angles. So, just kind of have to, also, yeah, it didn't even show me that much, but in post-recording, I'm seeing, Metal Sonic was, like, right behind me. And, yeah, that was a real close call. But now we have those Chaos Emeralds, and we head off to Reactive Factory. Probably the worst stage in this challenge. Because, at least with Radiant Emerald, all I had to do was get first. There were no extra, obstacles. And we'll be seeing that after Reactive Factory. But, with this stage, I have to go and get the challenge coins. And then I have to go and get the things. The Chaos Emeralds. And it's not easy. Especially when you have, Metal Sonic, Tails Doll. Well, Tails Doll, but, you have... And also, like, once again, this is a thing with Egg-Robo and his inability to walk on water. Like, he just stops to a hold and sinks, and it's bad. But yeah, so, after this, once we get, Metal Knuckles... I think actually for this one's a failed attempt. This just didn't work. Yeah, because I'm already in like 5th place on the second lap. But yeah, so after this, we should be with we should get Metal Knuckles, and that just makes the whole Chaos Emerald hunting far more tedious, because now not only do we have to worry about grabbing the Chaos Emeralds, but we have to get first. And once again, second isn't going to cut it. It's only first. So getting first alone in this is going to be a difficult enough challenge with all the with all the high tier enemies. But now that we have... We're the worst character in the game. We'll just put it at that. I'm bad at speaking. And also, once again, I'm still upset about the camera and how you have to turn. It's so weird. You have to turn the camera, and the camera turns so slowly, and you can't just really do a 180 by conventional means, and it's bad. It's so bad. But regardless, approaching the end, I'm already noticing, like, yeah, I'm not gonna get the Chaos Emerald, because Metal Sonic was already like halfway through the stage on his 4th lap. But yeah, so Metal Knuckles, the final and hardest challenger, doesn't mean I lose, just he's more difficult. And I don't really have a whole lot to say here. Just, he's Metal Knuckles. Also, you like that nice shortcut? Nice. I am a Sonic R god. Bow down to me, peasants. So yeah, we're approaching the end of Reactive Factory Challenge, and without much effort, we obtain Metal Knuckles. But of course, we can't use Metal Knuckles, so this only hurts us. So of course, since I didn't get first in the first race, I got no Chaos Emeralds. And this becomes the state in which basically I have all the, the toughest enemies on the game, aside from Sonic, but he's still, up there. Like, Sonic's still, someone to worry about. Not seriously bad, but enough to where you have to pay attention. And this took some attempts, because once again, now we have Metal Knuckles, to deal with. On top with getting the Chaos Emeralds and getting first. So this isn't good. This isn't gonna be too great. And so I actually have to develop like a full-on strategy just to win this. I don't win. Metal Sonic has already crossed the finish line, as you can see by the map, and well, gotta try again. Haha. I think Metal Sonic was like my biggest challenge in this, not even Metal Knuckles. And I'm pretty sure Metal Knuckles is better than Metal Sonic, which would make sense since you get him last. But yeah, so once again, round 2, fight. Yeah, so I think my strategy now is to simply, my big plan was, and of course I had a bunch of different like alternate routes in which if I didn't have a certain amount of rings at this point, then utilize a backup. But like, my big plan was just to get the first gate as quickly as I could, and just go through it, not even get the Chaos Emerald, so that way on the second lap I could get the Chaos Emerald since it would already land. And then at that point I should have enough rings to get the second Chaos Emerald, which just requires me to hold forward. Yeah, like you see here, like I just didn't even worry about the Chaos Emerald because like I'm just done. I can't stop and wait for the Emerald because, well, by then everyone else has already jumped up like 200 feet. So I just gotta hurry. Also, yeah, I guess Tails Doll goes over water. It looked like he did, but I'm not sure. But regardless, we lose to both Metal Sonic and Metal Knuckles. And while Egg-Robo is clapping, this is not a win in our book, so we have to do it again. And so let's see, at this point I have like 100 rings, so I'm able to just go through both gates and just get both of the emeralds at once. I mean, I'd have to get the first emerald on the third lap, but I'm able to open them both up at the same time, and just now all I have to worry about is, aside from getting that first emerald, making it to the finish line. In first, obviously. Which it's like, you can already see Metal Sonic, who's already halfway across the map, and taking all sorts of shortcuts and whatnot with it. So it's like, oh, I guess this is it then. And yeah, I get to the finish line. It's like, oh, I've already lost by a considerable margin, so I might as well just cut it off here. But maybe I can still win. And Metal Sonic's already at the finish line. Yeah, I was done. Just a moment of depression. And something that really like bugged me too was like the RNG system of like the coin things. Not coin things, like the giant ring things. Like, I'd see all the CPUs get 20 rings and I would get 5, and it's like, dude, not cool. And it was just kind of, that really makes my day go so much better. Like, why? But regardless, you know, I started to look at this, you know, this run here, and it's like, oh, I'm in second place. I already have 1 Chaos Emerald and enough, I almost said coins again, rings for the other. Well, I mean, I'm about to get 1 Chaos Emerald. But it's like this run is going pretty good so far. So I was like, oh yes, I'll actually be able to do it this time. And I can't remember if this was the attempt or not, so it's going to be a shock for me to see which one was mine too. Collision. Yeah, because I am not that far behind. Well, actually, no, that's Sonic. Yeah, that's Sonic right there. He's surprisingly ahead. And Metal Knuckles is pretty far behind, but yeah, I'm not too far behind Metal Sonic either. Yeah. So all I have to do now is just make it to the finish line before Metal does. And it looks kinda close, but I do in fact win both the Chaos Emeralds. Which just makes Radiant Emerald, my bad, that much worse. And, yeah, so one thing I will, say is obviously, if you're not new, if you're new to this game and you are prone to seizures, I'd recommend clicking off the video now, because Radiant Emerald is, it's pretty flashy with all sorts of colors. And also to signify I got Super Sonic. Just kind of a jog down memory lane. And so yeah, once again, if you're prone to seizures, do click off the video now. Because that image right there of the emerald is exactly what the rest of the stage is. Oh boy. And here becomes hell. Because now now we have Super Sonic to deal with. And as if Metal Sonic, Metal Knuckles, not really Tails doll, we're already, like these two are already enough to deal with, let alone, the unstoppable force that is Super Sonic. But then I started to notice, like, since, whenever I was being pulled to the, to the inside of the track, I actually go, way faster. Or it's not that I go faster, but it's, I cover a lot, more distance in less time. Because I'm going in, in the inside of the track. And so it's like, oh wait, so this is gotta be how I do this. because the track is really, really linear. It has a couple branching paths, which are more, shortcuts. And I was so upset because I didn't even realize I didn't have 50 rings. I have 49, and I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding. But yeah, Supersonic is such a pain to deal with. Because Supersonic is just the best character in this game, by far. But I think the best handling, but definitely the fastest speed, has a double jump, just like regular Sonic. Supersonic is just and he floats over water too, yeah. So, this is such a difficult stage as Egg-Robo when you have everyone, unlocked. And actually, something kind of interesting, now that we're kind of, having this challenge come to a close, is whenever I was doing the Amy run, just beating the game as Amy only, because once again, her big gimmick is she can go over water. Like her car, does a little thing or something. I don't know, but and yeah, I get second, of course. But yeah, so it's like, what happened a lot was I ended up a lot of the stages I got, because the weather can change, I'm sure you've seen, where it's like it can be daytime, it can be night, dawn, it can rain, and I don't think it's actually shown up in this playthrough, but the stage can also be like frozen and snowing, and when that happens, the water actually becomes, frozen solid, and while that doesn't really change a whole lot for Amy, it's kind of a big slap to the face, because it's like, oh, my most notable quality, and I'm just not, it's just being stripped away from me. Because, all I really have then is the boost, which, is good, really good for Amy, essential almost. But it hurt. It definitely hurt. And I think at this point you can just kind of see how fast Supersonic is compared to someone like Egg-Robo, where I just have very little hope of catching up. Like, yeah, I can do this, go into the inside of the track, but he just catches up so much quicker rather. And this really hurts, because it's like, this is at the very end of the track too, and I have no way of catching up. I can't slow him down, I can't do anything, because I'm Egg-Robo. So I just lose at like the last second, and I just kind of have to take the L, because I can't do anything about it, because my missiles don't do anything. It just sucks. And I don't know how the end credits roll. I don't know if they roll if you get second or third place or not. I assume they do, but I was so determined to get first place. Like, I was not going to go this entire journey without getting first place in Radiant Emerald. Yeah, fortunately the shortcuts really, really helped me out here, especially like loot, because it's the only thing I really have that really like pushes me forward, and gets me ahead of the AI, because this game just isn't really programmed that well. and I'm sure anyone who has at least heard about this game knows, like, oh, if if you have two players with equal skill, and one of you plays Egg-Robo and the other plays Supersonic, it doesn't really take that much to guess who wins. But you just saw there, like, an interesting idea I had, which was, oh, what if I just block Sonic the entire way? Can I just cock block him until I get to the finish line? Because if I just stand in front of him, he can't get through me. And at this point, it's just the final stretch of, okay, please, he's catching up. I don't want to do Radiant Emerald again. Please. And it's just one more turn, and booyah, kusha! I have officially beaten Sonic R using only Egg-Robo. Well, technically not only, because I had to use Amy in the beginning, but rest assured, it is beaten with Egg-Robo. So yeah, the ending screen plays and whatnot. It's super fun. So once again, I do have the file of Amy Rose beating the game with only her. So if you want to see that, go just ask, and I'll probably just upload it. Other than that, if you want to see more stuff like this, because this is definitely very different from my main content, if you could hit that like button. I hate asking as much as you hate hearing, but I just want to know if this is going good.